Well, thank you for being here with us this morning. As many of you know, one of my missions in my administration is to build a city for everyone. And when we talk about that, we are talking about everyone. We want our community to be accessible for everyone. And so this is part of what makes living in Salt Lake City a better place. And we'll talk a little bit about it, and then I'll turn some time over to the other speakers who are here today to share their role in this step forward for Salt Lake City. Ensuring the city is prepared for any kind of emergency is one of the most important jobs of a mayor. And ensuring that no one is left behind in this preparation is critical to the success of that goal. We have identified a group of individuals who are at risk, people who require large and heavy wheelchairs, and we are taking action. These individuals should be able to access the emergency services they need and not be separated from the equipment that keeps them mobile. Salt Lake City, like a majority of communities, had no way to transport large wheelchairs when our first responders were moving individuals in emergency vehicles. The wheelchair lift trailers we are unveiling today and security for those with disabilities in our community will be added by this measure that we are taking. These trailers mean that beginning with our 911 dispatchers, our first responders can provide the best emergency customer service possible. Now, when someone in a large wheelchair requires assistance, they can let dispatch know about their equipment, and our police and fire personnel can come prepared. To secure these two trailers has been a tremendous team effort. I want to start by thanking Sarah Benj, my ADA coordinator, who worked on this project first as an intern and now as a staff member of my team. Thank you. And of course, thank you to police, 911, and fire for once again coordinating your life-saving efforts to incorporate this service. On July 26th, we celebrated the 29th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. This groundbreaking legislation helped open the doors of opportunity for many in our nation. Today, we continue this legacy and show that the efforts to rid our nation of discrimination against those with disabilities is a constant effort. These trailers will be the first of their kind in our region, and I am proud of Salt Lake City for once again leading the way. Thank you. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank all of you for being with us today. I'm Carl Lieb, I'm Salt Lake City Fire Chief, and this is truly a notable day, not only for Salt Lake City Fire as emergency responders, but for those in our community who routinely rely on mobilized wheelchairs for independence and transportation. The acquisition of these wheelchair transports will allow Salt Lake City Fire Department to better serve our residents and visitors when they are in need of emergency medical service throughout Salt Lake City. In addition to Mayor Biskupski's support and the Mayor's Community Empowerment, Diversity and Human Rights team led by Jennifer Seelig, and of course Sarah, thank you for what you've done. I want to thank some key members of my department for making this initiative a reality. Battalion Chief Brady George, who started this project several years ago, and Division Chief Mark Bednarik, Captain Brian Staley, and the entire medical division for seeing this through to completion. Transporting motorized wheelchairs isn't something many people even consider. If you don't rely on such a device, you've never been asked to move one before, you've probably never even given it a second thought. But to those with wheelchairs, it's not a luxury for them to remain with their chairs, it's a necessity. What we see and learn quickly as first responders is that wheelchairs are often the lifeblood of those that own them. They're an extension of the individual. Their versatility empowers those that use them. And with that capability comes some compromises, of course. Motorized wheelchairs are not compact, and even worse, they're very heavy. Firefighters are generally in very good shape. We have to be prepared for anything, and that means we have to have functional strength for any number of tasks. We never know what we're going to be called to do. But I've worked with crews trying to lift these chairs, and it is a challenge. Many of them are over 200 pounds. So that led us to become more innovative as a fire department on getting a patient's motorized wheelchairs from point A to point B, specifically to a hospital if they're having a medical emergency. I've seen them loaded onto cargo trailers. I've seen them strapped to the back of cargo vans. I've seen them loaded onto tracks or UTA Flex Trans buses. I've even seen them driven, with the permission, of course, of the owner, by firefighters to the hospital. And I can't recommend that anymore. Those days are over. We have 2 new wheelchair transport trailers that can be used whenever we need to transport a patient's motorized wheelchair. One will be stored at Station 1 on the east side of Salt Lake City, and the other at Fire Station 11 on the west side near the general aviation portion of the airport, meaning they will be easily accessible to EMS patients and firefighters throughout Salt Lake City. This also means patients using wheelchairs who are experiencing a medical emergency will be able to focus on their health and their condition and their treatment rather than their source of mobility. We've asked around, as Mayor Biskupski said, we've asked around the Western region and frankly in the country, and we believe we're the first department that's offering this services. And if we're not, I will tell you we're still proud to have designed a solution for a challenge that has burdened us as a community for far too long. This is truly a city for everyone. Thank you.
Yep.
Bring that down for you.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you. My name is Sarah Benj. I am the ADA coordinator here at the mayor's office. In 2017, as an intern here at Salt Lake City, and now I recently joined the mayor's office as the ADA coordinator. While I was interning, one of the projects that I worked on was researching on how other major cities deal with emergency when a person with disability uses a power chair, calls 911. My research found that the most cities are either unable to transport the chairs or they use third-party vendors to transport the chair. When I started my position here as the ADA coordinator, this past spring, I was informed by the mayor's office that we were able to secure a funding to purchase 2 power chair transport trailers. This was an amazing news for me. When I shared this news with the Mayor's Advisory Accessibility Committee, they were very happy to hear such a great news as well. These wheelchair transport trailers are going to help many individuals who rely on power chairs as part of everyday mobility. I would really like to thank Mayor Jackie Biskupski and the Salt Lake City Fire Department for making this happen. Thank you. Thank you so much.